You can be surrounded by people, laughing at the right times, saying the right things, and still feel completely invisible. Not because no one's looking at you, but because they're only looking at the part of you that's safe to show. They don't see the tired behind your eyes, they don't feel the war happening behind your smile. They don't hear the silence after you help everyone else, and no one asks how you're doing. You've trained yourself so well to carry pain quietly that even you don't notice when you're bleeding. You call it being strong. You call it not burdening others. But deep down, you just don't want to be a problem. You've been so used to holding everything in that vulnerability feels like exposure, like weakness, like failure. You were taught that your pain was inconvenient, so you made yourself convenient. You became useful, polite, helpful, someone easy to love, as long as they never had to deal with your depth. And God, how loud that silence gets. Especially when someone sees through it. Someone who pauses, looks you in the eyes and says, "Are you okay?" Like they actually mean it. And suddenly your throat burns. Not because of what they said, but because they noticed. Because for once you didn't have to scream to be heard. And it's terrifying. Because being seen feels like being exposed, but also maybe being seen feels like finally being held. You're not weak for needing that. You're not dramatic. You're not too much. You're just tired of being the version of yourself that everyone accepts, but no one knows. So if you've ever kept quiet because you didn't want to ruin the vibe, you're not broken. You're just human, raised in a world that never gave you the space to feel. And maybe the scariest part is not that no one sees you, but that you stopped seeing yourself. You've spent so long editing who you are for others that now when you're alone, it's quiet in a way that doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like absence. But here's where it gets interesting. Kierkegaard once wrote, "The greatest hazard of all, losing oneself, can occur very quietly in the world, as if it were nothing at all." He believed that despair isn't loud. It's the quiet erosion of self beneath the surface, when you live as the version others accept instead of the truth you avoid. And he offered a solution, not in fixing yourself, but in facing yourself. Honestly, without masks, without asking for permission. He called it becoming a self before God. Not in the religious sense, but in the sacred, internal space where there's no audience, no applause, no performance. Just you and the truth. You don't need the whole world to understand you. You just need to stop abandoning the parts they never bothered to meet. So what does that actually mean? It means stop gaslighting your own feelings. If something hurts, let it hurt. Don't rush to explain it away just because others wouldn't understand. It means writing down how you actually feel at the end of the day. Not the version you'd post online, but the messy, unfiltered version you wouldn't even text your best friend. It means allowing yourself to say no when your body is screaming for rest, even if saying yes would make someone like you more. It means treating your quiet needs like they're valid even when no one else validates them. Because healing isn't some big, dramatic breakdown or breakthrough. It's a slow return to the parts of you that you left behind just to survive. And one by one, you gather those parts. You speak up when you'd normally stay quiet. You ask for help even if your voice shakes. You sit with your discomfort instead of performing strength. And little by little, you become someone you finally recognize. Not the version everyone liked, but the one you finally love.